Excellency Minister of Finance, Eurico Bakis, dear Julie Becker, CEO of the Luxembourg Stock Exchange, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure today to celebrate concrete actions that realize our common goals to better link gender equality and finance. With the support of the Government of Luxembourg and the Luxembourg Stock Exchange, UN Women has been able to make a reality of the need to advance women's economic empowerment through more equitable financial markets. As background, it is worth remembering that globally, women earn less, save less, hold less secure jobs, and are much more likely to be employed in the informal sector. They have less access to social protection, which usually makes it more difficult for them to absorb shocks. The current global labor force participation rate for women is also lower than that for men. In Luxembourg, for example, the 2021 labor force participation rate for women was 58.5% compared to 65% for men. And we know that of the women who are employed globally, over 60% are in the informal economy, earning low and very often subsistence wages and lacking social protection. Even in developed economies, the average pension for women is 25% lower than that for men. UN Women's work on economic empowerment and financing for gender equality centers on realizing women's economic and social rights. At UN Women, we aim to transform discriminatory social norms through partnerships and institution building that drives equal economic opportunities and justice for all women and girls. Our programs are premised on women's substantive participation and leadership in both the public and the private sector, and in the formal as well as the informal economy. Today's event sheds light on two important initiatives that propose to empower women in their professional lives. The first is the new Women in Finance Charter, which is Luxembourg's commitment to work towards gender balance and inclusivity across the financial services sector. This is a pioneering charter, and I congratulate the government for it. By setting targets and reporting transparently about progress, this will help break the glass ceiling by supporting women's participation at all levels. But this is not just about targets and representation, because these efforts must be accompanied with organizational culture, policy shifts, mindset shifts, and behavioral change that allows women to effectively access and remain in these jobs and to meaningfully participate without suffering the impact of unconscious bias that often holds them back. The second initiative catalyzes innovative sources of financing to allow women to start or grow their own businesses through the gender bond that has just been issued in Tanzania. At UN Women, we are convinced that gender bonds can reduce gender gaps if they are designed in a way that addresses systemic barriers that women face, and if outcomes and impacts on women's lives are properly monitored and reported on. Therefore, let me warmly congratulate the leadership of NMB Bank in Tanzania, who have issued the first gender bond in East Africa to finance women-owned SMEs. We invite you to share lessons and to monitor the outcomes of this bond on women's lives. Ladies and gentlemen, financial institutions have an incredibly influential role to play to enable women to achieve financial health and to benefit equally from opportunities in the economy. I urge all financial sector institutions to follow the example that is being set by Luxembourg and to play the role that only they can in ensuring that we are creating a world that is gender equal, gender just, and therefore more inclusive and prosperous for all. Thank you.